Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at the 1988 Decepticon Pretender Iguanus. So what we're going to do this video, we're going to have a detailed look at both parts of the figure because he is a Pretender. He's got the outer shell and the inner robot. We'll have a look at both modes of the inner robot because this little guy is the one that does the transforming. I'll show you all the accessories that come with him to help you know if yours is complete. And of course, I'll point out a few things that you need to be aware of if you're after purchasing one for yourself as well. Before we go any further, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to this channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please, because it really will help this channel out. Okay, here we go. 1988, as I said, Pretender, and I've got a soft spot for this guy, which is a bit strange because I never had him as a child. In the UK, we didn't get these Pretenders. We only had the original ones, which were, of course, Skullgrin, Submarauder and Bombburst. We didn't get Iguanus, Bugley or Finback, anything like that. But this guy, I think what it is just he looks really good. He's got, of course, the lovely black and purple Decepticon colours. He's got detail of skin and scales all over, so all across the back. Yes, this is all plastic. These are all paint apps, so there's nothing to worry about the gold plastic. It's just paint apps. There's scales all the way around, down the arms, on the legs, and even into the tail, which is rubber. And this has a bit of articulation on it. The shell itself has articulation as well. It moves just in the arms, and this is something I'm going to show you in more detail in a second to be aware of. You can see there that if this clip there is broken, you won't be able to attach the belt. But what I was saying before about the fact, obviously his colour scheme works, but the fact that he's a monster, and they're brilliant as monsters. All the Autobots, you know, were of course humans, like robots in human suits, but the Decepticon Pretenders, they were monsters and they were brilliant. So in the hands here, you can put any one of the two accessories. So you've got, these are the wheels when he's in the bike mode, or of course they can be used, I suppose, as blades as well. And you've got the 5mm port, and then this can go in his hand like so, or as you've probably seen it, like this. So it's sort of like a spinning weapon. And then the gun, which we've got here, I'll just lie him down. You've got the big dowel for the larger Pretender and the smaller one for the smaller one. So you could, if you wanted to, if you were hiding, if you were doing the Pretender part with the little robot, which I'm going to show you in a second, you could have him holding all of the accessories like so. I'm going to come to this little guy in a second, so let's balance him there. But let's show you how this Pretender thing worked then. So we can remove the back like that, and I'm going to lie these down just so they don't fall over. I'm going to take the inner robot, which of course is Iguanus. We're going to fold his arms back, which you'll see they just move nice and easy like that. We're going to look at this guy in quite a bit more detail in a second, don't worry. I just wanted to, as I say, show you, I suppose, the point of what the Pretender is. So there it is. Here is the back of the shell. We can see that that is resting pretty snugly inside, so I've needed to fold the feet down, fold the arms back, and then nice and carefully this will clip together. There we go, like so. Hence the name Pretender, because that's of course what he's doing. Is the robot is pretending to be a monster. Anyway, let's get him out, and we're going to have a look at the actual inner robot himself as well. One other thing to point out is this is what's known as a standard Pretender. A year later, they started producing small Pretenders, and it's really quite noticeable, the height difference between these. So there was the small Pretender. This was the small Pretender's inner robot. So again, huge differences in between the sizes. I know I've been asked a couple of times just how big was the difference between them, and of course you can see, there you go, just how much the difference was. The inner robot is probably nearly double, and the outer robot is a good inch or so taller than him. Right, let's move him out of the way, and I suppose while we're here, let's have a look at him in regards to normal generation 1 sized figures as well. So just a bit bigger than your standard figures there, but of course the inner robot not too far off. Right, let's move on to the inner robot itself, and as we've already seen, if we take this little figure, turn the arm around, so you've got articulation in the arms all the way around. The head unfortunately is completely stuck. It's stuck to the back of that. There is movement here, but as you've seen, that is mainly for hiding him, so it is for his transformation process. He has unfortunately got an unsightly big hole in the front of him, but you'll see why that's there in a second. He's got hip articulation, knee articulation, but again, it's all mainly for transformation purposes. And he's got the little hole there where we're going to put his gun, so you can have either one of them displayed with the gun. Now what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to transform this guy, I'm going to transform this one here, because there's a few things that I'm going to point out to you as we're doing it. So this is the box for him. This is a Canadian box, and the reason why it's Canadian is because you've got the dual language. And this is again some brilliant artwork. I love the fact they've got the outer shell, inner robot, and then of course transformed. And we've got detail of that there on the back, so you can see that the alternate mode is going to be like a cyber cycle, and it does make good use of the weapons. If we spin it round on the back, because it's 1988, Hasbro were peddling the Power Masters and the Pretenders, but if you were in Japan, this artwork is known as the Super God Master Force artwork, which was a cartoon that they were running in Japan at that particular time. So let's take this guy out of the box, because this one here is not as good a quality as that, so this is going to give me a good chance to show you things that you need to be aware of. So first and foremost, if you're after a boxed example, you can see there's a front part to this bubble which does come off like so, and inside we've already had a quick look, but I might as well show you anyway. We've got the wheels. Key things for this is of course that dowel and the two dowels there, so you can actually use them. The gun itself, again, large dowel and small dowel, and then we've got the actual belt. Now this one is off because what I was referring to earlier, and here is a good example of one that's not in great condition. So we've got there's the undamaged tab, and there is the broken one. So of course now you can't actually attach the belt at all, it'll keep coming off. You can also see what happens when the paint gets chipped, but also as well, this one is really badly sort of sun damaged, and if I stand the two next to each other, you can see how apparent that is as well. So the rubber in the arms excuse me, has managed to maintain its color, whereas the plastic has got quite heavily faded, in honesty. I'm going to keep him in there, but I'm going to take out the inner robot because we're going to transform him and have a look at him in a second. Let's just pop this back on there and slide this back in. So the inner robot, incredibly basic transformation coming up in a second. It is just going to be turning him into a motorcycle. Now you've got a dilemma. If you don't have the wheels or the blades, however you're displaying them, if you don't have these, then it is much more difficult to make and be able to display the bike. So what we're going to do, we need to fold the arms back like so. You can probably tell already that that's the front of the bike. Something to be aware of with this as well is if you get loose joints on the inner robot, this is why I have him displayed in bike, because the legs are so weak, he obviously won't stand up so easy. Let's fold these back like so. The toes are already pointed out because that's how I took him out of the box, but if he was in robot mode like so, you would of course have to fold the toes down. Now we need to turn the arms back because these are going to be a bit like handlebars, and then that unsightly hole at the bottom I mentioned earlier is now where you're going to attach the wheels. Now you can attach them the wrong way around, which is like that, and you can see it doesn't look very good, but if you take this here, turn it round, and it just fits, and it just gives that overall appearance much better. You can as well, still, you can even attach the gun on the roof, so you've got like a powered up motorcycle, shall we say, like so. It doesn't stand, unfortunately, unless you really balance it like that, but I think it's a good little alternate mode. And again, as I've said, I think it's a great little figure. It is very basic, and as I've said in previous videos when I've been reviewing Pretenders, that my attitude on these figures has completely changed as I've got older. I do really appreciate them now, and I'm excited to see the newer versions of these coming out soon. But this is the original, guys. I hope you enjoyed looking at him. I hope it brought back nice memories if you were lucky enough to have one when you were a kid. And again, I hope it helps with your decision if you wanted to get one for yourselves. So thanks very much for watching, and take care.
Thanks for watching. Like and comment,
and don't forget to subscribe.